Oi! When you're feeling low and woozy, slap a fresh clip in your Uzi. Assume the proper firing stance and make the suckers jump and dance. Thought I'd start my new review a little differently today. Just a little convenient literature by the poet Major Sebastian Blood, who was known to be a wretched and horrible poet, but I guess he enjoyed it nonetheless. So here we are doing another action figure review. GI Joe Classified number 166 in the line, Major Blood. So basically this is just a remake of the other figure that we got, the Cobra Island. It's just repainted, same buck. Here on the side of the box we got that QR code, asset symbols, bunch of, and here on the back of the box we got a nice glamour shot. Looking pretty awesome. He's battling some Joes, it looks like. He's got his big old cannon of a gun. Looks like you got maybe one or two of the snake armor in the background. Hoping I get mine. I ordered 3, I think. And it was due in August, but they got postponed and pushed back to September. So hopefully they show up soon. We got some nice close-ups there of his face. His little eye patch. Now, I always thought he was blind to that eye. I don't know what that is. It looks like there's like a little eye slit there, so maybe he's got like a robot eye. I'm not sure, but I would like a true to original look source material Major Blood, where he's actually got the eye patch that streams across his forehead. And there we got his helmet, which I really do like. It's a little Darth Vader-ish, but it's cool. I'm hoping again when we get, this will be the second Major Blood. Hoping we get a retro carded where it will be the original look. And let's have a look at that now. The Super 7 Ultimate Major Blood. All right, just a quick look at the Super 7 version. Very cartoonish, true to the subject matter and the original look of the cartoon. You got the brown gear, you got the white armor, you got the blue collar, blue helmet. Looks awesome. So real quick out of the box, just looking at him still in the plastic packaging here. So this is the exact same figure as what we got with the Cobra Island. See the figure there, the helmet. We got the dog tags, the little backpack that holds his missiles, that big fat revolver, and then the little missile launching handgun along with 2 missiles. So same shit. All right, out of the packaging. So as we can see here, and we'll do kind of more of a focus on this in comparisons, but this is an exact replica or repaint of the Cobra Island. As you can see, he's still got that same vest, but he's got these nice little red apps kind of in these little vents here. It kind of reminds me of how he appeared in, I think it was Resolute or one of the later comic books. Doesn't really look much like the original look that I showed you with that Super 7 action figure, but still very nice looking. Very much the same figure, but different colors. You got all this red on the arm there. Looks pretty wicked. He's also much more like battle worn, battle torn, whatever you want to call it. You see all these little like dings and little scratches all over the armor, like here. It's looking a little rough on the sides there, which I think it's supposed to look like. You got on these shin pads kind of little scratches everywhere, and also with this helmet, where before it was black and now it's like, you see like kind of some discoloration there. It gets a little gray, a little worn out. I do like that, and to me that is what makes this figure great. You know, they took the other one and did it better. And of course we do have the pinless knees and elbows. So there's that. Get a good look at that head sculpt there. Pretty much the same thing. Again, you got those red accents. And the little eye patch or whatever that thing is. Down here on the chest, which I think really looks sharp. Lots of dings. So it looks like he's just been through a battle. Let's go through the articulation and then we'll hit up the accessories. So he does have that ball joint at the top of the torso as well as at the top of the neck. So you get that neck movement as well as the head movement. He looks up about like that, which is pretty damn good. And then he looks down about like that. So very nice articulation on the neck and head. There's that stomach crunch, which doesn't seem to, this thing bends right here. That's some nice soft plastic, so when you want to make him, you know, squat down to look at his own dick or whatever, it doesn't really get in the way. Shoulder goes up like that. You got the robot shoulder and the regular shoulder. And then, of course, both go 360. We do have those pinless elbows, double jointed. We got the pivot as well as the twist on the wrist. I think they both pivot on the palm, but I'm not sure. Yes. So that robot hand really curls in. Very nice. I do like this figure because he does have this. Yeah, I like how it's like a kind of a gear up here on the shoulder. We do have the twist on the waist as well as pivot. It moves around. So very nice articulation on the hips. Does the splits about like that. We do have those drop downs. And then we got the thigh cut, double jointed knee. And he can almost kick his own butt. We got the boot cut there. And then of course we got the tilt and pivot on the ankle rocker joint. So nice looking figure. I really like it. Improvement from the other one. And I do hope we get a retro one where it looks more like the source material. And I don't like Super 7 that much. But I would like a classified figure that looks like that. And here we got the little pistol / mini rocket launcher that he's got. This is kind of the one that he always had in the cartoon. He's always using this. We have this backpack that you can clamp in the missiles. They do pop out. With the previous one, they kept falling out, so I just put them in a baggie and stored them with the rest of this gear, and I think it was probably just the missiles. But I kept one with the gun, but I stored the other one because, you know, you set this guy up and these things keep falling out. It's kind of annoying, but it plugs into the back like so. Let's see here. Oh, you gotta shift this. Look at that. It doesn't just pop in. So, oh boy. So you gotta move that up a little bit. Hopefully that doesn't like cut this off. Oh wow. So I do want him to have the backpack, but there we go. Fits in really good. We'll add those missiles later. We got that helmet. Very nice. Compared to the other one, which was just a matte kind of grayish black. This one's got a lot of wear and tear on it. It almost looks like it was spray painted black, and some of it's just coming off because it's been through so much, and you got kind of that silver coming through there. Really nice. And then of course we got the dog tags. that wrap around this vest. This vest kind of has a collar, and then the dog tags kind of fit around that. So you go like that, put on his hat, and you're like, hey, that's Major Blood. And then finally, well, here we'll kind of look at one of these missiles here. Pretty standard. Looks like arrows. And then we got the big old revolver. Again, it's got a red accent on the grip. And then it's got the silver right at the revolver there, which I think the other one was, yeah, it's got some silver. Pretty nice. And then you got this big holster. You just kind of pop it right in there. Hopefully. Maybe not. Did I get in there? There we go. Just needs a little force. So nice looking figure. Yeah, I like it. I don't know if it's an improvement because it's less like the original look that he had. So that was the first classified, the Cobra Island look, but this one is pretty nice. And I think it's the Resolute look. I'm not sure. Of course, in Resolute, I think that shit opens up with Major Blood getting murdered, I think. So, let's just kind of look around. I'm going to talk a little history on Major Sebastian Blood. So I was like, why the hell does he have an Australian accent? And I thought they just did that because, you know, the Dreadnoks all were Australian sounding, you know, Wolverine, all those Sunbow and Deke cartoons, they like to use the Australian accent. And it turns out that, well, Major Blood was born in Sydney, Australia, and he joined the Australian SAS, which is the Special Air Service. He left as a major, he joined the French Foreign Legion, and then he just started making contacts, and he became an advisor to a bunch of dictators and countries, and then eventually became a mercenary. You got the little pinholes down there. It's a nice color brown. The paint is nice. So everything about this figure is pretty sharp, pretty right on. I might like this more than the previous offering just because it's like very battle torn. It looks rough. Doesn't look all brand new like the other one. So we get the original look of Major Blood, and so we'll have 3 after that. I'll be happy. I don't think I'd need any more unless they do some kind of Python patrol. You know, I am a Major Blood mark, honestly. So yeah. As far as him in the comic books, he was hired by Cobra Commander on retainer to assassinate Destro, and because Cobra Commander was worried Destro was attempting to seize control of Cobra, so Major Blood was actually hired to kill Destro. And in the cartoon, they're all buddies and comrades or whatever the fuck, you know. And speaking of the cartoon, I think Major Blood was only really prominently displayed in the G.I. Joe Real American Hero in season 1. Where he was kind of the field commander. He was the guy that led the troops against the Joes. So, let's do some comparisons. I'm giving this guy a high mark, I would have to say. I do like it. Let's bring in the original version. So here we got the Cobra Island version. See, as you can see, exact same head sculpt. Everything is the same from the belt to the armor, the dog tags, the robot arm, the boots, you know, just repainted. The holster, the guns, everything exactly the same, no difference, just some paint. Both are great looking figures, but I do want the, like this brown, and this should be kind of a white, like almost like off blue white on the armor, because that's how he appeared. And then this would be like kind of a blue, I think. So if we do that in a retro style card, that would be dope. And this guy's getting an 8. Just because I'm a Major Blood mark, and yes, I am biased, and I don't care. It's my review. That's the way it's going to go. We got lots of comparisons to get to, though. Here's Zartan, another early Cobra comrade. We have the Python Patrol Trooper. And the original classified Bat, which is the original look. Loved these when they came out for Real American Hero. The battle-torn head on there, as well as that chest panel all beat up. Really nice. So those are some oldies but goodies. Let's put these guys in the back. And oh, I guess I don't know if you noticed this flickering. I put this little T light in here, and so here, let me try this. It's a fire. All right. Get these in the back here. So those are some older guys. Let's bring in some of the newer Cobras. We got Darklon, who I think is one of my favorite figures of the year. Really like this figure. The guns are sweet. The fact that it's Destro's cousin, I think. He's a big boy, too. Then we got the Battle Armor Coco, Cobra Commander. I want you to kill his brother. Love this. I really liked this figure back when I was a kid, the Real American Hero version. Super sweet. There's that Armored Coco. And then, of course, the notorious, hard to find Crystal Ball. Another guy with very prominent facial hair. All right. Let's get these guys moved back. And bring in some good guys. We got Falcon with the new head. New head sculpt there. The last one that came with this figure was horrible. This is the head from the 2-pack. Big improvement. And we got the version 4 Snake Eyes. Love this figure. Never got it as a kid, but I really do feel this figure like a lot. It's awesome. Lovely figure. Well done. We probably don't have room, so let's move these guys back. And then finally, let's do some non-G.I. Joe guys. Another guy with a very prominent mustache. He wasn't part of the French Foreign Legion like Major Blood, but he is French. That is Batouac. Batouac de Lipa. He's a French froggy fuck. And he's kind of a little weasel, just like Major Blood is, who always screams, all right, and then we got Scourge, who is a Thunderbolt, and I really do like this figure a lot. Like that gun. This is an old figure. This guy's probably about 8 years old, maybe. Old Marvel legend, but just a nice looking figure. And this guy could fit into your G.I. Joes, honestly. Turns out this is actually Demolition Man, one of Cap's sidekicks, dressed up in this gear, and he is in the Thunderbolts for a while. Another mercenary. You got a Crossfire. I think is a very underrated figure. Should have done it with the pinless, but I guess they just didn't want to. And finally, the Merc with the mouth. We got Mr. Deadpool doing up some nose candy in his boxer shorts and these wicked looking sandals. Look at that meat. His legs look like a goddamn Slim Jim. Pretty fun figure though. So this Major Blood's getting an 8. I don't know how we could have improved it. You know, doing what they wanted to do and just taking the old figure and giving it a little bit of pizzazz, throwing the red apps on there. Pretty wicked. The little scratches and stuff on his black armor, the wear and tear on the helmet, all that shit is awesome. So well done, Hasbro. You hit it out of the park with the original one, and I think you stepped it up on the second version. So you know, pinless, back to front, good articulation. He does have the butterflies, which is something I always forget, because especially with GI Joes, because they have so much goddamn armor over it. But it seemed like at first, like these missiles did fit into that backpack a lot better. But then the second go around, oh, here we go. Well, they do pop in there, but it's just a matter of getting them stuck in there so that they actually stay in there. But there's one. Let's try the other one. I was trying them with the little flight things here at the end up top, but I think they're supposed to just go in like this. See, and then this one pops out as soon as I get this one in. God damn it! Really not that bad. Oh my god. Wow. So I think that's how it's supposed to go, because there is this little opening area here. So I think that's meant for, come on, those flights. Let's get the other one in there without this one falling out so I can feel good about myself. There we go. All right, we got it. Look at that. Boom. All right, so it seems like they do fit in there a little bit snugger. I was having issues with this guy. And yeah, it's the same backpack. But I just didn't want to risk it, so. Again, little upgrades, little bit of paint, a little more fun. Nice figure, and it couldn't have come at a better time, because I mean I'm a big Major Blood mark, and so I was hoping to get another one, and I'm still hoping we get that retro one. I'm sure we will in a year or two. So yeah, dope figure, giving him an 8. Major Blood, he's my favorite Cobra character and one of my favorite overall GI Joe characters. So. And I just love the way he says, here, I'm gonna try it. Cobra, retreat! No! So he is quite cowardly. What else is there to, I guess, please like and subscribe, comments, just as a little note too, because everyone's like, how'd he lose his eye and his arm? So I guess he loses his eye in his first fight with the Joes. And then he loses his arm hunting down Roadblock and Heavy Duty, and he ends up fighting a crocodile and losing his arm. So he probably had a better chance against the crocodile than he did with Heavy Duty and Roadblock. And Jesus, I'd take the crocodile myself, so. That's it, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. We'll see you on the next one. I think Snake Eyes with polar bears coming up. What else do we got? I don't know. We got a few things. So hang in tight there, guys. We'll see you on the next one. All right, peace. Just one other little thing to note, there's that hole right there, and then you got this gun with the peg. You just pop it in. Boom.